flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bow your heads, please. Gracious and Heavenly Father, we thank you again for this beautiful day. We thank you for the blessings in our lives. We want to ask that you be with us in this meeting, to conduct this meeting in your name, and to better our community and our taxpayers. We give a special prayer for our country and our military that's overseas to return them safely home to their families. All this we ask in thy gracious name. Amen.
All right, I assume everyone's had an opportunity to view the minutes from last month's meeting. If there are no corrections or additions, I'll entertain a motion to accept those minutes. Make a motion. Bill's made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Rick. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Good morning.
Good morning. So we ended the month of July with 249 runs. 17 of those were transfers that we picked up because Seals was not available for St. Vincent. We ended the month with an income of $66,750.48. I did include the miles for all of our vehicles on the second page. We had a fuel expense of $5,191.27. So it's coming a little bit more back down than what it was last month. Our EMT class is going to be starting on August 20th. We have several interested, several that have filled out applications for that, so we should have a good class. And then we are starting the event coverage at the school, so we're going to have several sporting events that we are going to be out at all the schools for. So we just got that schedule recently, so we've got a full few months coming up with coverage for the schools.
Chelsea, are there any football games where all three schools have home games at the same time? Is that
Salem's only got 3 home games, so.
I'm sorry.
Salem's only got 3 home games this year. West Washington has 6, Eastern has 5.
West Washington is starting our season. They're the first school that we have coverage for, and then we're going to be busy after that between all of them. So.
I think it was brought up in the past, but sometimes that's just a little craziness happening.
And the only one that do that is we've got 2 football games, I think, falls on Settlers Day weekend. So we got Friday night on Swear plus a couple football games, so we'll be busier than but I think that happens pretty much every year, though.
The thing with St. Vincent, we haven't heard anything. So I've requested a meeting with Dana. I haven't gotten very far on that. So.
Are you going through Donna to schedule that meeting, I assume?
Yes, that's who I've reached out to.
Is Dana, she's still in charge? Is she over? Was it she at North Vernon?
I know that she's Donna's boss, so
Yeah.
I don't know where she's at. I thought she was more towards Indy, but
I think she's regional director or something like that. I don't know where she went.
So we talked about this at the last meeting, maybe the one before. And there's been no response from them at all, I guess 0.
I have not heard anything from Seals or St. Vincent. The 17 transfers that we took last month, there has been times on the weekend where they have said that they had no trucks available for them. And a lot of these have came on the weekends, but they have been critical patients that were having heart attacks, active labor, a brain bleed. So there have been patients that needed to go out. So we have found a way to make that work. That is more than, like, I think in June we did 6 for them. So allowing, being able to take patients out when they need to go is what's the right thing to do, but just have to make sure that we're not being taken advantage of either. So, if you don't have any more comments about St. Vincent, I did get an email from Jim Freeman yesterday about our, it's a our doubtful accounts. It's gonna be like after your Medicare, Medicaid, insurance, it's gonna be like what's left over. Basically, we would have to agree to write those off and clear the accounts, which I have the email I can read from that. I don't know if Phil, if you have anything to add about that, but.
You talking about write-offs?
Yes.
Well, a long time ago, I mean, the state board of accounts, with that account being open, showing a deficit or a loss, you're better off to get rid of it off your books. And Jim has suggested, and we hadn't brought it up, but it should be the write-offs that passed. I forget what the date of it is.
So I brought the email. Do you want me to just read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So it says, since February 1st, 2014, ambulance billing service has billed $20,295,724 for Washington County Ambulance Service. Taking into account Medicare, Medicaid adjustments, and mandatory contractual allowances, there remains about $222,000 in doubtful accounts on the books. This is 1% of the total amount billed. These amounts change daily as payments are received and accounts age. The next batch of accounts sent to collection will reduce this balance. For accounting purposes, collection accounts are adjusted off and then posted as a recovery if paid. On October 2018, Washington County Ambulance Service wrote off accumulated doubtful accounts from 2014 to 2016. State Board of Accounts has expressed a preference to see doubtful accounts written off to clean up the records. I recommend seeking approval of the council to clean up doubtful accounts from 2019 and prior. ABS cannot write off these accounts without your approval, with the exception of small balances below $50. Ambulance providers always accumulate unpaid accounts, and these should be written off when older than 2 years. Many of the unpaid accounts are no transport fees. With rare exception, insurances will not pay these charges. The patients are billed privately and simply do not pay. Not many options unless you wish to use small claims court. Even the best collection agencies recover less than 10%. Medicare, Medicaid, and insurances have fee schedules that determine the amount paid for the ambulance services. We have no control over these sources or amounts. Call volume and call type are the determining factors for ambulance provider revenue, which will change month to month. Always review a 6 to 12 month average for trending purposes. Please call if you have any questions. Kind regards, Jim Freeman.
I mean, we've always had bad debt, and it's just hanging there. There's no way you're going to get it. Somebody's got a guilt trip, and very few people do. And under
Most
circumstances,
people don't have the money to begin with, so
No.
I don't see the purpose in pursuing it.
no.
And we've wrote them off in the past.
We do try 3 times.
Yeah, we have a collection agency. We don't see very much from them.
And you're not going to, anything, whatever you get, you're gonna pay a big fee to them anyhow, and the people can't hardly afford to pay to begin with, so.
So I suggest we do go ahead and clear up our books on that.
It's just,
For
need to be.
purposes. You want to put that in the form of a motion?
Just need to be in the
I'll make a
motion.
motion to that.
If he makes a motion, I'll second the motion.
All right, motion on the floor from Phil, seconded by Rondell to clean up uncollected accounts, write-offs dating back, I guess prior to 2019. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So is that something you're going to take care of, Chelsea?
Yeah, I will, I'll get a hold of Jim. I don't know if something has to be signed. If it does, I'll figure that out, but I'll let you know. I had put a call into him. He had sent this, like yesterday afternoon, and then I had a call into him this morning, but I haven't had a call back, so. As soon as I find out how that has to be, like what we have to do to.
I don't remember signing anything before, did you, Phil?
Yeah.
Did we?
I mean, he'll want paper documentation that we did okay, which is no big deal. Todd, I think it's.
Did he provide a write-off report? In other words, is there a report available that would tell, I'm not interested in individuals' names, I don't think that's too ethical, but what I am interested in, what would be the average amount of a write-off, for instance? Does he ever provide that? Or?
So I get reports from Heather every month. It's just our monthly reports. It just shows like we have billed this, these have came in, these haven't. And I can, but some of them are like actually has run information on it. So to get that report, I have to make sure that those get taken off. So I can do that though.
You should have it on your aging reports.
Yes.
It would tell you that.
Okay. All right. Well, back to St. Vincent's. I suppose just continue to press Donna for a meeting, and to me it's pretty obvious they don't want to meet with us, but something's going to have to give.
Are we not billing them at all for anything? St. Vincent's himself transfers?
Oh, we haven't yet.
Well, the individual, we're collecting from the individual's insurance, but that's it. All right. Do you have anything else, Chelsea?
I'm not.
Anyone else? Questions or comments?
Well, would it be inappropriate of us to bill for some of those runs to the St. Vincent's? I mean, not to say that they paid.
We've talked about that in the past, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, we talked about it, and I didn't know if, I missed last month's meeting. I didn't know if that was.
Where was you at?
I was covered up. We talked, I made it up, trust me. But
Jim explained to Todd the other day, you want to tell him what you told him about billing? Medicare, Medicaid, and.
Well, you have to be careful about how you go about it according to the law, because it can look like, I don't know if favoritism is the right word, but basically a bribe for services or whatever. But anyway.
I'm just a simple guy. There's one hospital in the county. I don't understand that. But that's me.
Well, with Medicaid, Medicare, insurance, and if we set a price of, what do you say, $300 or something like that, then one could come back to you and say they could claim that you was playing favoritism because you charged them under that.
Yeah.
And then they could go back and pursue it with that you would have to reimburse all the fees that they'd already paid you. You can't go over too much because they're going to get you on that side. So the best thing, I think, is like ABS. Till we get something concrete, stable, I don't think we want to pursue it.
Right. Right.
even though we are writing off. And she said, what, 220-some thousand we've got write-offs over the past
2,000,
since we took over. I mean, the county has footed the bill for the citizens of it, and the taxpayer has, but we've saved lives too, and I think it has to be looked at. Everybody wants to hurry, but this ain't no time to hurry.
But it still comes down to the fact that Chelsea made mention of it. St. Vincent's taking advantage of us.
Sure.
That, I think 17
And
calls.
that's what bothers me more than that.
17 calls to me is taking advantage of us. That's my opinion. Everybody's got their opinions.
It's not counting.
And last month, the previous month was 6.
Yeah, we have turned down, we have turned down some as well. So we are getting the calls a lot more frequently because they're just not being staffed over there.
Do you know how many calls you've been turned down per month?
I'd
I know it's hard to keep track of that.
say at least that did last month. But I know I've
You had 17 and then you turned down 17?
non-emergent transfers going to the Wellstone or Clark Behavioral or something going down for observation.
Because at the end of the day, our responsibility is for the 911s in this county. That is what my priority is going to be, especially when we have no contract to be doing the transfers for the hospital. So I will make sure that we are able to cover our 911s. So some days, if we're covered up with 911s and they ask us to take a transfer, I mean, we're not doing it. Because we have to take care of the 911s. And if we don't have an on-call that day or whatever, or there's just too many runs that day and say we do have an on-call, but we're out on 911s, I mean, that's just how it is. So, but I noticed that we are getting more and more and they're there less and less, but then there's no agreement being met with the hospital, which is very frustrating. But at the end of the day, they know that we will want to do the right thing for the people here. And so whenever someone's having a heart attack, they know that we're going to take it because that's what's the right thing to do. So,
The trouble is you're not able to talk to the right people.
And the right people don't want to talk
They're not in a hurry.
because they know exactly what she just said. They know we're not going to not take care of our people in our county.
Well, their pockets are a lot deeper than ours, where we're trying to make ends meet, so.
You're out for the doctor. And I don't care if they know it.
All right, anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
I'll make the motion.
You got the commercial.
All right.